Alright guys, so I said I was going to double upload for you, and here is that video. It is going up a little bit later than I anticipated. You guys got to hear me out. My throat, I can't record for too long in one sitting, otherwise it starts to get scratchy. My throat starts to kind of get, not swollen, but it starts to kind of flare up where it just hurts, right? And it's because I've been streaming a lot, I've been creating a lot of videos. Like, just because I don't upload a video doesn't mean that I'm not working on something behind the scenes. So I do have some other videos that I'm working on, other videos that I have done. It's just they're not ready to be uploaded yet. So I've been doing some stuff behind the scenes you guys just haven't seen yet. So work with me. So if I don't upload one day, it doesn't mean I'm not going to create content for you guys. It doesn't mean that I'm not trying to hold up my end of the deal. Just work with me. Just, you know, kind of take it easy. So here we are today. We're gonna be doing the old man rebuild. I'm gonna be aiming for about 34 and above, just because I'm not sure if there's enough like 35 and above. So we'll say 35, but who knows what ends up happening. If you do enjoy the video, again guys, hit that thumbs up button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. And as always, in the comment section, let's go with, tell me a player that's 23 and under that you guys are super excited about, or your favorite 23 and under player. It can be a prospect, someone that's already in the majors, but 23 and under, I want to know. Let me know in the comment section. So let's get into this rebuild. All my social media down in the description below. You guys know the plug by now. Twitter, Instagram, Snapchat, all that stuff. It's in the description. And that's about it, guys. Let's hop into it. Let's do this old man rebuild. All right, so here we go. I'm probably gonna have to turn ignore budgets on, just because I'm thinking about doing maybe 1 or 2 seasons with this team build, seeing what we can do with them. And here we go. Let's take a look at this roster. All right, so here we go. Here's the team that I came up with: Scherzer, Morton, Smartja, J Happ, Scott Kazmir, and Anibal Sanchez. Those are our starting pitchers. Sanchez is probably going to be the long reliever. We'll go like that. Our bullpen looks like this: Will Harris, Joaquin Soria, Yusmero Petit, Joe Smith, Tyler Clippard, and Zach Duke. The thing is, I was trying to look for players with the best per nines, not necessarily just the best rated players, even though in this case a lot of them are. No true closer. We're probably gonna have to go with one of our bullpen arms, obviously. Chirinos and Suzuki are gonna be our catcher. This is probably the position I went with, like the 2 best ones, and then Miguel Cabrera and Hanley Ramirez. I could have gone Edwin Encarnacion. I could have gone a couple of other guys for first base, but I decided to go with these 2. Howie Kendrick, Cano, and Jed Lowry. And you're probably thinking, why did I go with Jed Lowry? We need a shortstop, and he's like one of the only older players that can play shortstop. So that's why I went with him. Justin Turner is going to be our third baseman. And then, like I said, we don't have a shortstop. Left field, Braun and Chu. We got Brett Gardner in center field, and then Nelson Cruz, Hunter Pence, and Nick Markakis. So our lineup pitching staff kind of looks like this. You guys can see what we're working with. The challenge with this is because there's a lot of older players, a lot of them have really big contracts, so we're definitely over budget. I'll show you that in a second, but I'll also show you the lineup, see what we're kind of working with. We also don't have a lot of speed, and that's another thing that we will definitely have to figure out. And where's my... No, Nick Markakis is definitely not playing center field. And we're going to rock like this. And then maybe get Hunter Pence in somewhere else. Yeah, that's good. So this is kind of what we're going to be rocking with. I think that is like kind of the best team that we can put forward. And then budget-wise, we're $3 million over budget. Obviously, a lot of players are going to become free agents this year. And it's kind of pick and choose who we're going to keep, who we're going to let go. The thing is, I don't really know who else we could add to the team. You know, I'll take a look at our 34-year-olds, you know, that we could add. We'll do that. Max 34. We'll just do 34. So we could, Josh Donaldson will be available. We could trade for David Price, Andrew Miller, Johnny Cueto, Ottavino. So there's definitely some decent options. But again, are they really going to make us that much better? Especially since a lot of these players are going to decrease in rating by quite a bit. Let's just kind of see how this old man squad performs. We're ranked 4th in baseball, so we're already ranked pretty highly. It's just, I don't know how well we're going to hold that rank. So let's simulate the season, see how it goes, and then we'll just kind of keep going from there. So I'll see you guys at the end of it. All right, so we're in September. There will be 2 players who are under the age of 35, because you got to add those 2 extra players for playoff rosters or September rosters towards the end of the year. So we'll have that, but I'm assuming we're gonna make the postseason, right? No. And I have a feeling when you lose all those games the last 2 weeks of the season, that's probably going to hurt you, right? Let's take a look at the standings and 5 games. Imagine if we could have won at least 5 of those games in the last 2 weeks. We could have gotten first in the division, and in the wild card, we could have snuck in. That's tough. 2 games we missed out on. We're ranked 23rd in baseball, and we were, what, 4th at the beginning of the year? We're 23rd now. So looking at the league leaders, Max Scherzer, Jeff Smarger were the 2 pitchers that really stood out from the rest of the pack. And you guys can see kind of the league leaders. As you would expect, they're going to be the normal ones, so I'm not even going to go through them. And then we look at awards. We'll take a look at awards. Gold Glove for Brett Gardner and a Cy Young for Max Scherzer. Looking at MVPs, okay, some different ones from the normal. I think there was a couple different like batting titles, Cy Young winners, but missing out on the division by that much is really tough, especially since our team's only going to get worse and we can't really upgrade it too much. So taking a look at a team, Max Scherzer was a Cy Young winner. He had a fantastic season, low whip. The ERA, you know what, it's very respectable. Like 3.19 is great, almost 270 strikeouts. I can see why they gave it to him, even though Charlie Morton was right behind him in a like that's like a 1-2 punch right there for a really strong starting rotation. Jeff Smarger as a 3, solid. The whip's a little high, but you know what, a really good year. Scott Kazmir struggled a bit, and then so did Jay Happ. So both of them had, you know, a little bit of a high whip. And I mean, even looking at Jay Happ's like whip / ERA, it's not too much different than Smarja, so I'm not too worried about it. I feel like Kazmir was clearly the 5 in the rotation. Anibal Sanchez, fantastic. Really good season in 123 innings pitched. You look at Pettit, very solid year. ERA's at a 3. The whip is so low. Love to see it. Zach Duke, not terrible. You know, Tyler Clippard, again, the whip is kind of high, but definitely not a bad year. Joe Smith, very respectable year. Very solid. Will Harris, struggled a little bit. High whip, high ERA. And Soria, even though the whip's high, had a pretty decent season. And 31 saves, 6 blown saves. I'll take that for sure. So, looking at the lineup, we can kind of see who did well. Chirinos, probably really a player I'm going to bring back for sure. And then I feel like the rest of the guys are kind of like whatever happens, happens. We'll just try to figure out replacements if we need to. Brett Gardner is one of the best center fielders for, you know, this age group that we're trying to build around. Might have to keep him around. Cabrera, I feel like we can definitely get a better first baseman at this age group, so I feel like we're going to go somewhere else. Howie Kendrick, I definitely think we can get one more year out of him. Had a great year. Nelson Cruz, almost 40 home runs. Fantastic season. Robinson Cano, not bad either. Definitely think we could get another season out of him if he doesn't retire. Ryan Braun, not terrible, but definitely think I could get someone a little bit better. Maybe one of those guys who was 34 turning 35. Justin Turner, great season. 35 home runs, almost 100 RBIs, 300 average, a 945 OPS. Kurt Suzuki, not terrible either. And Jed Lowry, I mean, I don't really know who else to go for at shortstop, so I feel like this is going to be a tough one. So we missed out. Let's just sim and go one more year, see if we could really turn this team around. I'm not too sure how we're going to do it. The Athletics defeat the Cubs. Okay. So I don't know how we're going to do this, but we definitely need to figure out a way to do it. We lost Sin-Soo Choo and Hanley Ramirez. So, okay. But we do have some exclusive negotiations to worry about. The thing is, I don't know if we can afford all these guys. So I want to make a trade before we do anything. So let me see if I can find a guy who's like 34, just turned 35, and plays maybe, I don't know, maybe like first base, that doesn't have like a crazy big contract. What about Edwin? Can we trade for Edwin? What's Edwin's contract? Ooh, he's on arbitration, so we can actually trade for him. Okay. Give me anybody we can trade. Anybody. Yeah, this works. I'll take Edwin. I'll take him on an arbitration deal. He's going to hit very similar to what Miguel Cabrera is. Contract's going to be a lot smaller as well. I'm okay with this. This is a deal I'm cool with. There's our first trade. All right, another player I'm going to trade for is getting rid of Will Harris contract and going for Pedro Strop. Yeah, we're not getting our full value for a trade, but it's a smaller contract. I think we definitely can work with that. So now looking at exclusive negotiations, I feel like, yeah, we have a lot of players. I'm going to let Markakis go. I might see what Hunter Pence wants. He wants a low contract. If he takes 1.1 million, 1 year, 3 million, I'm cool with that. Ryan Braun, I'm going to let go. Kurt Suzuki, I'm going to wait just to see if we can find another catcher to be kind of a backup. J Happ, trying to think of other starters that we could, we could get. He's going to be a 5. He doesn't want much. That's not bad. Anibal Sanchez was fantastic. So let's just kind of do this. That's not a bad contract at all. Tyler Clippard, again, not a player that I was like too disappointed with. That's a decent contract. We'll go Edwin. Edwin was a player I did want to bring back. One year, 3 million. Again, not bad. Pedro Strop. Let's just keep giving them small contracts. I'm cool with this. This is something we can work with for sure. I'm gonna bump this one down a little bit for Cruz. Chirinos was a player that I think is gonna be one of the better options for us. 7 million, a little high, but we can work with that. Jed Lowry, I'm gonna wait because I want to see if we can get a different shortstop. Justin Turner, though, is always a fantastic hitter. And 1 year, almost 4.5 million. Not bad. Smarja wasn't terrible. How much does he want? We'll give him kind of a longer contract. See if he does, kind of take that. And Howie Kendrick was great. I just think this is the age where he could really fall off. How much does he want, though? I'm going to hold off on Howie Kendrick. Brett Gardner. Okay, we'll take that. And this is where I want to keep most of the guys because they're like really good bullpen arms. And they usually are for at least 1 or 2 seasons. Charlie Morton's another player, I think, for 1 more year. This is good. And I feel like that's a lot of money to be spending. But we're going to have to work with it because we don't really have any other options since we're using a small age group to work with. So arbitration wise, Michael Fulmer will be a player I'll probably look to trade just because he's got some value. And if we need an older player anyways, or I could just let him walk and we don't have to pay him. And then contracts, I'm going to offer it to like a lot of low contract players, like a lot of low money amounts. So that way I don't have to worry about not being able to afford players. Looking at free agency, obviously we can only look at players who are 35 and older. Who was that? Gio Gonzalez. I mean, that's not really what I'm looking for. Kirby Yates is just outside, like just past or just before the range we can use. I mean, we could pick up Francisco Cervelli or Tyler Flowers as a backup option for catcher. First base, Daniel Murphy is kind of a backup, or Ryan Zimmerman. Matt Moreland's available. But for the most part, we're kind of limited in what we can get. And that's a little bit of a problem. So maybe Asdrubal Cabrera can come in. Yikes! This is gonna be tough. I'm gonna have to work my magic. I'll see you guys at the start of season 2. All right, I'm gonna trade for Ian Desmond. I'm gonna turn him back to a shortstop. This is a huge contract, but he's one of the better players that's available. Kind of. I don't really know what to do anymore. I'm losing my mind. All right, so I'm gonna go for Josh Donaldson. Figured he's one of the better 35-year-olds in the game. Probably should use him. Tariq Skubal, Ryan Zimmerman, and Dario Agrazal are going to be traded for him. Let's take a look. Let's see what we're kind of rocking with. So Josh Donaldson obviously needs to get in the starting lineup. That means I could probably move Justin Turner to first, Howie at second, Nelson Cruz, Edwin, Pence, Gardner, Asdrubal Cabrera at short. Is that what I want? What about Ian Desmond? We did bring up, I guess he could just face the lefties and we could rock with that. Robinson Cano, I guess, doesn't get in the team. I guess. I mean, we're going to go like that, though. I feel like Josh Donaldson should probably be a little bit lower in the lineup, huh? We don't really have a true leadoff hitter, so I guess Justin Turner works. Looking at the team, it's strange, right? It's definitely strange. Indeed. I guess we could let that and just let Asdrubal Cabrera play short. I feel like that's just strange. Who's this guy? He's not part of the team. He can't be on the team. It's not fair. It's not fair. So we're gonna let what am I doing here? We gotta change this. All right, so I need to get rid of this guy. We're gonna let Edwin hit. There we go. Figured it out. I made a mess of that. Way more than it should have been. And then we swap those two around. Make sure that Alcantara guy is no longer part of the squad. And we'll send him down. Where is he? Yeah. You can't be part of the squad, bud. So I need to sign 2 players. Probably gonna be a starter, obviously. No, not a starter. Ooh, I guess we do need a starter though. We need a starter and a bullpen arm. 100%. So let's go get a starter and a bullpen arm, because Haps 68 overall, and I feel like that's just not good enough. Casey Mize, I know if this was a real Tigers rebuild, I wouldn't do it, but we're gonna go for David Price, one of the better available arms. And now let's take a look and see what we can get for the bullpen, because that's really what we're lacking. Andrew Miller is kind of the best one, and I feel like we could use that, right? We could definitely use that in the squad. So let's just throw them what we got. Definitely take that, but let's just, I don't know, we'll figure something out. There we go. Andrew Miller is on the team. I guess I really didn't need to show you that. Just more of, this is what we're doing. You guys see it. Here we go. So we're gonna rock like this, and then Andrew Miller is gonna move into this spot, and this is gonna be the team. It's not much of a change, because there's not much that we can change, and players are only gonna go lower and lower as they get older, obviously. So I'll show you like the top old guys on, like we could get Brandon Morrow, but do we really need that extra bullpen help? And when you look at position players, there really aren't many that are good. So doing an old man rebuild is pretty tough. Like, it's tough to get something that'll work. Obviously we're not within budget, but this is what we're gonna rock with for the year. It's a challenge. I'm interested to see how it plays out. This is more of kind of like a team build rather than a rebuild. So yeah, let's just see how this second season goes. This is probably gonna be the last year, just because it's a little bit of a challenge, something a little bit different rather than doing a full-on rebuild. So let's see how this year plays out. If it does well, fantastic. If not, it was just a bit of a fail. A little bit of fun, see how this old man team does. So here we go, season 2. I'll see you guys at the end of it. All right, September, we're gonna need a very good September. I'm talking like 15 wins to make the postseason. So here we go. It's close. We're at 82. If we can maybe sneak like 92, 93 wins out of this, we're good. And you know what? We might do it. Okay, maybe not. I take that back. We lost way too many games at the end, and we're gonna finish 88 and 74, which does suck, because like I know we're gonna go there and it's gonna be like, you missed out on the division by 4 games. Actually 12. Okay, so the Indians definitely ran away with it this year. We're the last ranked team in baseball, and that's expected. We don't have young players who are improving. We're gonna have older players who are decreasing in rating. In the wild card, again, we just missed out on it though. 4 games is not a lot. It's tough when you don't have top players. I'm not gonna run through the league leaders because we didn't have anybody even close. Probably I'll look through the MVPs. You guys can see it was Arenado and Yordan Alvarez, Sean Manaea and Clayton Kershaw. We got batting title winner Mookie Betts and Anthony Rendon. Reliever of the year was Wendelken and Dan Winkler. And then rookie of the year was Jose Lopez and Sherton Apostle. So let's take a look at our pitching. Kazmir just really wasn't the pitcher I was going to hope he was, so we'll move on from that. Pedro Strop, really solid year. Glad we picked him up. Tyler Clippard, again, not a bad season. 1.3 whip, just above, 1.2. That's kind of like the range, the number I'm looking for, 1.2. But again, not a terrible year. Joe Smith, again, really similar to what Tyler Clippard did. Almost identical, actually. Almost the same amount of innings, almost the same amount of strikeouts. The ERA and the whip is the same. Almost identical seasons. Andrew Miller, yeah, the whip's high, but the ERA is not terrible. So, it's not the worst. Yusmeiro Petit, again, not a bad year at all. Actually, one of the best we've had in the bullpen. You're looking at 2 ERA, 1.14 whip. And then look at Soria. Not as good as he was last year, but again, players are not going to be improving. They're going to be decreasing. So, it's not the same. Max Scherzer, the whip's low. The ERA is a little bit high, but again, it's not terrible. The whip 1.29, definitely can work around that. Charlie Morton, whip did increase a little bit from last year. What do you have? A 1.2 last year. He went up to 1.4 this year. He's also down to an 81 from an 85 or something that he was. David Price was one of the better pitchers we had in the rotation. Great whip and ERA. Jeff Smardstra, very similar to what David Price was putting up. And then obviously Anibal Sanchez kind of fell off as well. Looking at our bench, Ian Desmond was kind of that platoon outfielder for us. 271 average, 9 home runs, 36 RBIs, and almost 300 at-bats. It's not a bad year. Chirinos, again, not terrible. Yuli Gurriel, high average, 4 home runs, in 135 at-bats. Not bad at all. Alex Gordon I decided to bring in because we had one extra roster spot available, so I decided to bring him in. Robinson Cano, you know, not that great. Justin Turner still hit 252 at the 68 overall rating. 15 home runs, 14 doubles. You know, he's what, 36? Definitely going to start to fall off a bit. Howie Kendrick still put up great numbers, even though I almost didn't bring him back. He actually kind of had a power surge, 31 home runs. Pretty good. Josh Donaldson, we brought him in, 26 home runs, 250 average, 774 OPS. Definitely starting to fall off. Nelson Cruz still put up crazy good power numbers. Love to see that, even at the age of 40. Edwin, very similar numbers, 43 home runs, 116 RBIs. We got Hunter Pence, who put up 30 home runs. Okay. Wasn't expecting that at all. Brett Gardner, 16 home runs. The average and stuff is dipping pretty quickly, so that's disappointing to see. Asdrubal Cabrera wasn't bad. Wasn't great, but it wasn't bad. I mean, put up good run production, even though the average is pretty poor. And then obviously Tyler Flowers had a decent year. You know, 250 average. One of the best he's had in quite some time. 747 OPS, 14 home runs. Overall, it's tough. It's tough because, you know, you don't really have those young guys that are improving. You obviously have the older players who are decreasing in rating. And then you can't expect to get better since everything is just getting worse. So you can't really expect to be like, yeah, we're making the postseason every year when you can only use players that are not going to improve at all. So that's how it ends. And I wanted to bring this to you guys because I've actually seen it commented quite a few times in the last couple of videos. I figured it was a short little video we could do, an old man team build / rebuild challenge type thing, and I hope you do enjoy it. I did promise you guys a double upload. Here we are. We got it. I hope you did enjoy the video. Hit that thumbs up down below. Subscribe to the channel if you're new and enjoyed the content. Remember to make sure you hit that bell icon to be notified whenever a video does go live. And in the comment section, let me know your 23 and younger player. Like, who's that future star that you're super excited about? It can be a prospect. It can be someone that's already in the majors. Just let me know who it is. And that's about it, guys. Remember, all social media links are down in the description below. And on screen now are going to be 2 videos that you guys should check out if you haven't yet. And that's it. I'll catch you on the next one. Peace.